I don't know if this conversation.
No. This
You
is
know, you know what?
this isn't a vlog conversation, but
Yeah,
damn,
no,
dude, we just never stop.
I know, really. I mean, you know what is a vlog conversation though?
What's that?
Why is it that I need more moisturizing during the spring and summer than do during the winter? It feels like I'm just moisturizing more now. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's supposed to be the reverse, right?
Yeah, that's what I've always been told, and in my experience, yes. Except for, let me tell you something. They do something to the air in the hospitals here. I
Uh-huh.
swear to
Oh,
God, I
absolutely. I believe
aged
it.
like 15 fucking years.
Right. You know what
It
it is?
like,
It's like it's the same. They use the same filtration system they use on airplanes. That's why on airplanes it kind of like sucks all the more. You come out of the airplane on the other end looking like a California raisin. It's like it
oh my
just
God.
sucks all the moisture out of
Yeah,
you.
because I was like I ended up buying the Vaseline intensive care
Yeah.
lotion, right? And
Hmm.
it was like globbing it on my face and my arms, and it would just be like, suck it
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
suck it
Really.
up.
Oh, that life-saving petroleum.
Good morning,
Oh
everyone.
my
It
goodness.
is Friday,
Is
right?
it
Yes,
Friday? Oh
right.
yeah, I think so.
It
Yeah, I
is
gotta.
Friday.
It's
It's
Friday.
Friday, May
It's
19th,
oh,
2023.
oh my
And you
goodness.
are watching the Rage into the vlogs.
Oh, oh my goodness. Uh,
Ugh, you don't do this shit.
no, but let's do it. Hit
Ah,
it.
yeah.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comic Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
I hate
I,
my fucking
I
voice.
I forgot that we had that.
I told you we did.
It's like I was making a point of using the card because I kept forgetting to talk about it. It's like, oh yeah, we have a pre-recorded thing.
Good morning, Daphne.
Good morning, Nita. So are you getting used to being back home again?
No, but
Oh,
okay.
right. But I think it's a little bit better than being in the hospital.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I can sleep a little bit
Right.
extra, and I can have my sweet tea when I want.
Right.
My stevia sweet tea, which
Yeah.
is like god awful because it's like it's sweet tea, okay? But like stevia, the way it works is it's like kind of like an aftertaste.
Yeah, it has a
So it's
weird
like
like
unsweet
licorice
tea with a
aftertaste.
shot of licorice after.
Yeah. And it's like, so it's like if you're the type that doesn't like licorice, it's like, it's a little tough.
I do not like licorice.
Yeah.
In fact, I hate it. Stevia was a hard adjustment for me.
Yeah.
But when I went sugar free, it was
Right.
it's a healthier choice than
Right.
aspartame. So
Right.
it was like I made myself choose. Okay, I can have a glass of sweet tea, or I can have water. And I drank the water, and I drank the water, and I drank the water, and I wanted something different.
All right.
And then it was like, okay, if you want coffee again, the only way you can have it is with the stevia, because I can't drink the shit black. And so it was like,
Right.
fuck.
Well, I mean, it's like a good sugar substitute that Jose's been using is something called monk fruit.
Oh my God, that is the best. But guess what? We can't find here unless you go all the way to the faraway Whole Foods.
Right. Oh, he just orders it online.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah, he just orders it off of Amazon.
That is the closest to sugar supplement you can get.
Right. Not giving you the insulin spike, I guess. But the people are not here.
No.
Dietary information, for dubious dietary information.
We are not doctors.
Yeah, absolutely not. Look, we're barely YouTubers. Oh my goodness. So who's joining us in the chat today?
So far we have Allison McGlone.
Hello.
We have Jody McPhee.
Hello.
Bristolian Dave.
Hello.
And Jody's back.
Oh, hello, everyone. And yes, I see you, the 9 people next to the giant eyeball on my screen. Actually, it's not really a giant eyeball, but
no, the teeny tiny eyeball.
It is funny to say giant eyeball, though. It's kind of like, Indiana Jones, don't look into the eye. But I see you watching us from regions beyond. If you're joining us from Facebook, if you're joining us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Facebook has a tendency to act up, and Twitter doesn't even allow us to see your comments. So if you want to chat with us, our chat at YouTube is the best place.
IndieComicsNetwork.com.
Absolutely. Everything is at
IndieComicsNetwork.com.
But might as well get introductions in order here just to get this officially started. Hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And I am known for the Furry Fantasy Adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter June 2nd with Tall Tales Are So I Thought, the very first full color Tall Tales one-shot that we have ever printed. I have proofs out at the printer as we speak. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to show it off on the channel before or when the campaign actually starts. Who knows? But keep an eye out for that. Link is in the show notes below where you can sign up on Kickstarter to get notified when the campaign goes live on June 2nd. I am also known for my mature, you see, we're still workshopping this, my mature audience's slice of life medieval fantasy Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. You can read which also returns to Kickstarter in a couple of months. I'm furiously working on issue 7 right now. I'm 10 pages in, and boy, is this one a doozy. So again, keep an eye out for that. You can click on the link on my homepage because the pre-launch page for this is not up yet. So if you follow me on my website, on my Facebook, you will be notified when that finally becomes available there as well. And since I don't have to talk about our coupon code, which by the way is Region 10.
Oh my God.
You can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, LAGER, which I still simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita over here.
It's the Indie Comics Network, and it has shows about indie comics and stuff. Hey, Daphne, guess what?
Yes. What happened?
This is the 1000th show on the network.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, true story, bro.
That's a lot. I mean, I know that we personally.
You know what that means?
What does it mean?
Not much, but
Oh,
you know,
that's true. Yeah,
fucking
we have
awesome.
1,000. That we have nothing
It
else.
means we have 1,000 shows.
Yes, it means yes, exactly. It means that we are a collective of people with nothing else better to do than to stream, to YouTube. No. But I kid. I mean, it's like I kind of think that we work hard to entertain the masses with our knowledge or lack thereof of indie comics, and we hope that you're all entertained by what we present to you. It's all for you. It's all for you, my friends. But wow, now mind you, 1,000 videos is not just us. We're talking about it's a collection,
The entire network.
That's us. It's Randy. It's Nina. It's Rodney.
And 150 of those are Meredith too.
Oh,
So,
there
like,
you go. Yeah.
Yeah, this is from concept to now.
Right. You know, so it's like, again, pouring one out for the homies for Meredith. But, you know, I mean, it's like, yeah, we couldn't have gotten this far if she didn't push us to do it.
No, because I would have never done this. Never.
Yeah.
This wasn't my thing at all.
You know, it's just kind of weird how we just ended up. And now what's funny is that it's just like so part of my routine. I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's like it's so part of my routine. It's like, yeah, this is what I do now.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just another day at the office.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny that you say another day at the office, because I had a horrible realization the other day. So it's like, because, you know, it's like we talk about, you know, like what we do in indie comics and whatnot, and you know, and it's like, and the thing is, though, it's like what I also like to do is I like to say like a lot. I don't want to sugarcoat what I'm doing, you know, because if it's one thing that I always hated is you know, like any type of creator, it doesn't even have to be comics. I've seen it with novels and you know, it's like whatever, you know, that it's like, oh, what's the secret to your success? It's like, oh, it's a hard work and gumption and being born into a family that owns this emerald mine. You know, it's like, you know, that type of thing. God. You know, so it's like that there's always like this omittance of like back end stuff that forms the foundation of what we do, but the average person doesn't really get to see. They only see like the final product, and you know, it's, oh yeah, you just work hard, and
or look how easy that was. Like, I don't even think they see the work hard. Like, I really don't.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, how it's like, you know, like you know, the obsession with Brian Pulido, where it's like, oh, look at him, you know, it just comes so easily for him. And it's like, yeah, it 35 years worth of coming easily, right? I mean, it's like, I kind of think it's a little
what would Brian Pulido do?
Right. Yeah. It's like, well, he'd hustle for 35 years. That's what he would do. So what happened is that the other day, I came to kind of an ugly realization that my own luck might be running out, and I'm not, you know, but I don't know yet. You know, it just depends on how everything kind of falls into place by the end of the year. And depending on how that goes, I mean, I don't know, the way it's kind of looking, it might not be necessary, but I might have to get a job next year. I might have to. It's not something I look forward to. You know, ever since I was laid off from my job in 2013, I've been kind of like riding it out. Um, and it's like, but the thing is, though, it's like it was only in the last 2.5 years, 3 years, that I really started, like, really, like, because Kickstarter allowed this to happen. If it
Right.
wasn't for Kickstarter, I think that I would have had to have done that a long time, like much sooner.
Right.
It's like deciding to put out Eager Raven, having the option of kickstarting it, like even with my other books and whatnot. But like, it's kind of like at the level that it's at, it might not be sustainable on its own for what I need to happen.
Right.
It's like, let's just say I kind of incurred a debt that I need to pay off, but like I said, it depends on how much of it is taken care of by the time December rolls around.
Right.
So that kind of interfered with the kind of like the slow growth that well, I have no choice in doing with my work. So here's the funny thing, though, because you had seen something online that kind of coincided with this decision I had to make, right?
Not just one, several posts over a weekend that were very similar.
Mm-hmm. And without naming names, without, because we're not here to like point fingers or anything. We're here to talk about the idea behind it, not who's talking about it, because I think that the argument I've seen from so many different places, who is saying it is kind of irrelevant.
Right.
So what is it that you've been seeing?
I've been seeing a lot of people minimize creators who have full-time jobs, like saying that things like this is what they choose to do versus making comics, like it's a fucking option to go to work to support your family, like, or just pay your bills if you don't have a fucking family, to even take care of your pets, because all of us are out here making millions of dollars in comics.
Well, yeah, I know, right? It's just, it's just all rolling.
I mean, to get too specific, we get to the one post that really upset me the most. So I don't really want to do that.
Well, like I said, it is a train of thought
work harder, bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch, I am working as hard as I fucking can. I've got 4 fucking kids that are still in school. I've got a husband with health issues. Before that, C was working full fucking time, taking care of. What do you mean work harder?
Mm-hmm.
I cannot work harder. He cannot work harder. It is like, I get uptight about this shit.
Right.
But that doesn't make him less of a creator. That doesn't make me less of a writer. That doesn't, it doesn't make us less than. And I feel like a lot of these people were taking low-key jabs at people who have employment outside of the fucking comics industry.
Right. I mean, it's like, the way I like to look at it is that somebody woke up insecure and decided to make it
to be like, oh, I'm
problem.
better than you guys. It's like, the fuck you are. The fuck you are. You're not a better creator. You're certainly not a better artist than a lot of people out there that have to, like, come.
Yeah. The internet is a tricky place. I mean, because here's, so here's, I mean, here's the thing, because it's like, like I said, it's like someone woke up insecure and decided that they were going to make it everybody's problem.
Right. And I don't even know if their intent was to make it everyone's problem. Right. But I don't think they realized the amount of alienation they fucking caused. A huge rift between lots of people, because it spawned arguments all over social media for 3-4 days.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, dude, what the fuck was that even about? I mean, I get the work hard. If you have the ability to be at home and you don't have to fucking work, and you feel like you're not creating enough, then by all means, go for it. Go for it. But the type of work this guy was talking about doing, even if you were at home, you would have no fucking life to try to put out that amount of fucking content. And I'm sorry. Guess what, people? quantity does not equal quality.
Right. Well, that's true. Because it's like, so here I am,
I'll message you after a while, Dave.
It's like, here I am, thinking about like, oh shit, it's like I might end up finding myself back in that situation.
Right.
Now the thing is though, is that, it's like, look, like I said, I've been doing this shit since 1992. I'll let you guys do the math. And the thing is, though, are there things that I could have done differently over these years? Absolutely. I always pinpoint this particular 10 years where I said, you know what, if I had spent that time, it was right when Diamond decided not to carry our stuff anymore. And, it's like we were kind of sort of going to conventions, but it's like we were kind of like in this comic book limbo. We were still doing work, but we kind of didn't know, like we didn't have a focus with it. Like, it's like, okay, we didn't have Diamond anymore. There came a point where we didn't have San Diego anymore because it just got too expensive for us to keep going to. So there was like this 10-year span. And, before, at the end of Diamond and probably right at the beginning of Kickstarter. And the one thing that I regret not doing in that time frame, not making a priority, is building my mailing list, still cultivating that audience while I was in this limbo. And I think that had we done that in that 10 years, we would have been in a better position when Kickstarter finally came around. Because again, going back to the top 200 most funded books, a majority of them, their secret sauce is that they were building audiences for decades. And by the time they got to Kickstarter, they had the audience to transfer over and support them on this new platform at the time. And Keanu Reeves, which goes without saying. So yeah, that was a priority that of course, in hindsight, that I regret not making.
Right.
Because we kind of had a sense, but didn't.
But we live and learn, man.
Right.
And now and you're screaming it from the mountaintops. I mean,
exactly.
Happens,
yeah.
Fuck. You regret it forever.
Right.
Get over it.
Now here's the thing. So it's like I only read one of them. But like I said, there were several this weekend. There were several posts floating around. Concerning this topic. It's like, oh, you don't work hard enough. You make everything else a priority but the comics. But like having it, like they're saying, it's like you're making having your job a priority over comics. And yeah, and it's like, look,
Thank you. Sorry.
Right, no. It's like, I'm not looking to get a job because everything is going well. I mean, it's like I'm looking to get a job because an issue came up that my work on Kickstarter is not growing fast enough to be able to take care of it in a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
So that's just what it is. Now, here's the thing, though. How does this affect my schedule, right? Because now I'm thinking about it now, just in case. It's like I'm not living in the future, but I am preparing for the just in case.
Right.
So it's like, that's why, it's like I'm trying, it's like I'm looking to get issue 7, Eagle Raven issue 7 finished this month, and also getting most of Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut finished as well, because I want to get these 2 books done so that then I can spend probably like June, July, and August focusing on issue 8 and getting that complete, so that I will have volume 2 complete.
Right.
And then what I want to do, and then, so actually, before I mention the rest of it, because it does have some context. So one of the posts that
exactly.
One of the posts that you mentioned, they were kind of like humble bragging.
Oh God, it was totally jacking off all over the internet
about being able to do a page a day. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that, see, that's a good thing or a bad thing. Honestly, I think the amount of pages that you can do in a certain amount of time is zero.
And also,
like,
I want you to define a page a day. Are you talking pencils? Right. Are you talking layouts that you got that you're inking, or what are you talking about? If you're talking about a page from start to finish, I can almost guarantee you your quality is nowhere near what it should be.
Well, I mean, it depends,
A page a day, Daphne.
But here's the thing, because on probably a really, really optimal day, I can do a page from beginning to end. But that's
you wouldn't feel like you'd be lacking anywhere. You never go back and have to make corrections.
I didn't say that. But then again, I could take a week on a page and still think I have to go back. I mean, I'm just
a cunt on this one. I'm sorry. It was the wrong time for me to read that fucking post.
Absolutely. But but here's the thing though. So it's like, I think that being able to do a page a day is value neutral. It doesn't mean anything. But the thing is, or the part that was bothering me was that, if you did a page a day, you'd have a comic book at the end of the month. So you should be able to put a comic book every month. So go do the work. And it's like, okay, all right. If your priority is to crank out that much work in a short amount of time, that has nothing to do with me.
No,
that's a value that they've decided they were going to.
But don't tell me that I'm not prioritizing comics, right? Because I have to have a fucking day job. I have to support my children. I have a family. I have bills.
Well, right. Again, because I think also that we're also talking about a person who created this foundation where they're able to do that, and they're forgetting about it by giving this information, by saying this. It's like, just work hard, just ignore the fact that I have
you chose to do this.
Yeah. It's like, that it's like, just ignore the part where I have a wife and I have a staff of people handling all the mundane stuff so that I can spend all day concentrating on a comic book page.
Right.
I mean, even, that's the thing. I mean, that's what Jack Kirby had. He had it while he was in the basement drawing, wherever the fuck he was drawing. His wife was upstairs taking care of shit.
All the business side in the house.
So that he could work unencumbered. So, and mind you, Jack Kirby did 5 pages a day.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's how somebody chooses to live.
So is Jack Kirby, does that make Jack Kirby a greater creator than whoever it was that was spewing this 1 page a day nonsense? Like I said, it's a value neutral thing to focus on, because here's my question. Why do you need to make a comic a month?
Right.
Because for me, it's kind of pointless. I can't do a Kickstarter a month. So there's no real incentive for me to do a comic a month. So why should I put my artwork through the grinder, put myself through a grinder to produce a book a month?
Right.
Okay, maybe. But the thing is, though, I can definitely do 2 pages a week. I can definitely do 3 pages a week if I really, if I really put the effort.
Well, like you said, if you really wanted to, if you had to, you could do a page a day.
Right. But I mean, but it doesn't.
But that's also a luxury.
Well,
a luxury not everyone can afford.
That you have the time to concentrate on that work.
I mean, sure, I guess we could all go live under a bridge. I'm sure our kids would love that shit.
Right,
and their daddy's Huion doesn't need electricity, so we could just be under that bridge and continue on it.
But at least you're making comics a priority. But
prioritize, right?
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing, though, because to be able to do a page a day, that requires a priority. That requires.
He absolutely was.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing is, though, that also required making priorities as well. So this person doing a page a day, their priority is obviously speed, not quality.
Right.
For me, my priority is the quality of the work, not speed.
Right.
So
as it
I think that my goal is successful in that case. I can do I would rather do 3 really good quality pages than 7 kind of mediocre ones.
Right.
You know? Now here's the thing.
That's because you're an artist, not an artiste.
Well,
you know, like,
well, but the thing is though, it's like, look, you know, I still need my books to come out on a somewhat reliable schedule. You know, the fact that I have to finish so much work in this month to be able to do this schedule that I need to do for this year in preparation for next year.
Right.
So here's where that came in. So I was thinking about that. Okay, I can't do a complete page a day. You know, but what can I do?
Right.
It's like, well, once it's like I can do a complete pencil page a day. You know, I can do that. That I know pretty much I can do. I can pencil a page a day. You know, so what I'm doing is I'm taking that idea of doing a page a day, and I'm going to apply this now to my schedule. So before, you know, it's like I was kind of like doing the books like kind of one at a time. You know, it's like just get a book started, finished, and then move on to the next project pretty much. But for if in preparing books for next year, I might not have that luxury. So the idea that I'm taking with that doing a penciled page a day, right? So what's my priority here? Not the speed, but how do I still put the quality of work that I want, but get the books kind of out faster without me sacrificing the book itself, right? So what I think that I
thing that what you brought up.
What the thing that I figured on doing is like, okay, I'm going to continue these next 4 months. So I'm going to give myself until August to pretty much finish up what I have and complete issue 8. Because like I said, that closes out Eagle Raven Volume 2. So at least I'll have those books done. And then from September to December, what I want to do is I want to pencil a page a day for the next 4 issues.
Right.
So that by the time like the end of December rolls around, I have a good pile of pages that just needs to be inked. Because then that'll take me less time than, you know, that I will need to allot for myself if I have to go back to work than if I had to do all these books from scratch. So I'm currently like finishing up. I'm currently going through my script now and continuing thumbnailing the rest of my issues. That's thumbnails / layouts are like the hardest process for me. So that takes the longest. So that's also something I'm trying to get done as well for August, you know, so that when September rolls around, I can start transferring those thumbnails into actual pages to pencil. I can start penciling those thumbnails, you know, but that's me prioritizing. That's what my prioritizing looks like. You know, it's not about, you know, crank out the books as quickly as possible. You know, it's like you have to do a book a month or this, that, and anything. It's like, no. That's not that. Those are not my priorities.
Right.
That may be the other guy's priorities. But like I said, if he looks at me getting a job as me, you know, not prioritizing comics, it's like, look, that's a you problem, not a me problem. You know, that person telling C you made that choice, that says more about him than it does about C. You know, and here's the thing too, when you have other creators for some bizarre reason needing to shoot you down, you really have to consider why are you considering the opinion of this person? What's so valuable about the opinion of this person that them saying that makes you feel a type of way?
With this particular individual, for me, I think it was a seniority, I guess, type thing, you know.
Like, because here's the thing.
I can't really get into, there really was a reason why this one bothered me so much in the beginning.
Right.
Now I'm just like, whatever, bro.
Right.
It's
Right.
done.
Because here's the thing. I mean, it's like, is his opinion more important than me saying, no, Seek just has to do what he has to do?
No, your opinion is more important than anyone else out here. So
you know?
At the end of the day, yours is the only one that matters, Daphne.
There you go. But I mean, because the thing is, though, in seriousness, though, like there is, to paraphrase a quote from Marcus Aurelius, though, he talks about that we as individuals value ourselves so much, but then all of a sudden we become so wrapped up in the opinions of others. Why do we care so much? When we value ourselves until it's about someone else's opinions, then we're so desperate for this other person's approval.
Wouldn't go to him for advice, but God forbid,
So that's something that we kind of have. I mean, are there people that are worth listening to? Sure. It's like, but here's the thing, though. It's like, are there some opinions not worth arguing? Absolutely. I mean, we are all on our individual journeys, no matter what kind of book that we're doing. It's like, and here's the thing too. It's like, what are you prioritizing? Are you prioritizing making something that is a creative expression, or are you prioritizing making a product for sale?
Yeah, for financial gain.
Right. I mean, it's like, those are kind of two different things. I mean, sure, they can mesh. I mean, I pour my heart and soul into Ego Raven, but in the end result is to sell it on Kickstarter.
Right.
And it's like, and I'm what's funny is that, like, I'm currently fulfilling another batch now. So hopefully by the end of the day, I'll have another batch out the door. And I don't know, sometimes I find it trippy to even think that it's like, wow, all these people on this list felt that my work was worth it, that my work was worth spending their money on, that they want to continue reading my book. I think what really got me thinking that was that there were people who got issue 6 who apparently missed out on the last campaign. So they was like, oh, give me issue 5 and issue 6.
Nice.
And it was just like, whoa, it's like, and then there are the people who are buying, like, this is their first time seeing the campaign, and it's like, give me everything. It's like, right, yeah, which it's like, but you could easily turn that around and say, it's like, honey, nobody cared about you. They cared about the character that you
yep that's it unless it was somebody that's like,
if you wanted to be an asshole about it, it's like, honey, you were drawing Spider-Man, and if
it's who I think it is, you inked over somebody else's work because your own is in, never mind.
Right.
Boy, I'm out for a lot of people today.
There's it's very easy to be an asshole about these
I'm
things.
in my feels,
but the thing is, though, it's like, we have to remember why we're doing this. And like I said, it's like, just to see these people who saw my campaign for the first time and decided that they were going to spend $200 catching up. And that's, I don't know, that's kind of crazy for me. Just thinking about that, it's like, you know what? It's like that tells me that there's something about what I'm creating that intrigues them so much. It's like, you know what? I have to read the whole thing.
Right.
And honestly, that's kind of why I'm doing this. It's like, it's like I do the work for myself, but to share it makes it more fun. And to see people excited about the work that I'm doing, that's what I'm prioritizing. I want to prioritize my work in a way that makes people excited to see it, that makes people, excited that I'm coming out with another issue. That it's, and it's like, so for me, that requires my priorities to be different than just cranking out a page a day. just to say I got a book out in a month. Like if that's important to you, then it's important to you. That's your priority. That's fine.
But
like
don't have the audacity to tell someone else
neutral.
they need to work harder.
It's value neutral. Because I could just as easily say, well, Kirby did 5 pages a day. What the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are?
I mean, I'm sure C could put out if he'd be like, fuck them kids and fuck Nita.
It's like, look, honestly.
Wow. I bet you. Good morning, Glenn.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, too. I do more work when I'm neglectful of other things. Well,
yeah.
The more work I do, the dirtier my house gets. Let's just put it that way.
For sure.
Hey, Glenn.
For sure.
So it's like, yeah, am I prioritizing getting my work done over cleaning my house? Yeah, but there just comes a point where it gets a little too grimy for my taste.
Bro, there's times the kids have to remind me, and you've been in the room with me more than 3 times. Mom, we're hungry.
Right, yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm coming. I'm coming. 5 more minutes.
That's what time it is. And it's like, oh, shit, people want to eat already. You ate yesterday.
Right.
So that's the thing, though. It's like, it's like, yeah. So it's like, yeah, I tolerate, thank you. I tolerate a grimy house so that I can do the work that I do. However, there does come a point where that threshold, that threshold doesn't hold at all.
Right.
Where a line gets crossed and I finally have to get up, stop what I'm doing, and I have to make cleaning a priority.
Right.
There comes that point.
Yeah, I do eventually get up and push the buttons on the microwave.
Right.
I'm kidding. I actually cook for my children.
Yes, exactly.
I have to disclaim everything after yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I know. There are people who just take everything at face value, and it's like, do you know how humans work? Yes, I do have to clean my kitchen.
I had to mansplain friendship on Facebook. Oh,
Jesus.
My God.
But yes, Glenn, you are correct. I have to get back into that kitchen. I had to grab a steam cleaner from upstairs, a heavy duty steam cleaner. And it's like, I figure like this weekend, I really do have to go in there and like pretty much steam blast the entire kitchen. So, but the thing is though, it's like, it's something that I have to do. I don't have a team of people to do that. I'm not hiring a housekeeper. What's really funny, because it reminds me of a story.
Housekeeper.
You're right, exactly. It's like, it reminds me of a story of 2 stories. My mother used to work for this wealthy woman who, this elder, she took care of this elderly wealthy woman. And this woman had required literally, like, my mother was part of a team of people. This woman required to pretty much survive. I mean, it's like housekeepers, it's like, like she had a team of housekeepers, she had people. I mean, she had like there was nothing this woman could do without having someone else pretty much do the work for her, right? But here's the funny thing, like, including my mother, my mom did a lot of administration stuff for her and whatnot. But here's the thing. This woman thought it's clobbering time. No, no, this woman thought this woman would constantly say how much of an independent person she was. And my mom would be like, it takes 30 people for you to function.
Your mom would be like,
the last thing you are is independent. Of course, she didn't say this to the woman's face. But the thing is, though, it's like mom would tell me, it's like, she's talking, I'm right there, and she's calling herself an independent, like she's an independent, she's living independently, like I don't exist. So it's like, so it's just, so when people say, oh, just work harder, I can get this done, why can't you? Because you're ignoring to mention the foundation of your ability to do the work that you do. So there's also this other story that I remembered because of this whole thing. Years ago, Peter David and Sergio Aragonés. I don't remember if this was at San Diego Comic-Con. It was at a convention. We'll just leave it at that. Peter David and Sergio Aragonés did a panel. I think it was called like the world's fastest comic or something or whatever. So in the panel, on the spot, Peter David came up with a concept that Sergio Aragonés would then start drawing out. He would start drawing out the story. So Peter David would start dictating the story, and Sergio Aragonés on these like collection of whiteboards started drawing out the pages on the whiteboard. So then it's like, so at the end of the panel, they had essentially an entire comic. So, great brainstorming. I guess the panel was supposed to give you an idea of what like brainstorming looked like and this, that, and the other thing. But no, absolutely not. The takeaway that some people had from this panel, someone got up and said, if it took you that long to do an entire comic, then that means that we should be getting comics twice. That we should be getting comics twice a week. How come you're not doing comics twice a week? And of course, Peter David and Sergio Aragonés are like looking at it's like they're looking now. Look, even if it's Sergio Aragonés drawing it, you can almost imagine what it looked like, what this comic must have looked like on the whiteboard. Okay. I mean, it's like, do you see what you're getting here? And already it's like, there was this accusation that, oh, this means that comic book artists are lazy because they could obviously do books faster. They just won't. So, and this person is saying this to Sergio Aragonés.
Wow.
So, so the thing is though, so it reminded me of a tweet that came up. Now, mind you, this was in reference to AI, but honestly, I think that it could also be used in reference to this attitude. The tweet was, we're quickly replacing the pride and joy found in honing our skills, overcoming challenges, and mastering a craft with slot machines causing dopamine addictions. And I think that, like I said, this tweet is more in reference to AI, that AI is the slot machine. At this point in time, this person was looking at Peter David and Sergio Aragonés as slot machines. That it's like that creators, that there are people out there who look at creators as slot machines existing just for their dopamine addiction. Why aren't you putting out comics faster? So it's like, and that whole thing, and the thing is, though, I'm not a slot machine. So I'm not interested in being a slot machine. I'm not interested in being someone's dopamine vending machine.
Oh, right.
So it's like, like I said, I have no reason to put out a comic once a month. I have no incentive. Nothing is hinged on it. It's like I've always said, that it's like if I ever got to a point where I was depending on my artwork to have to pay bills, I'd rather get a job. And that's kind of where, like I said, there's a chance.
Kind of where things could be heading.
It could be heading. Not sure yet, but that's the thing. I'm not interested in turning my artwork into a slot machine where I'm just cranking and, people get to look at it for 30 seconds and move on.
Right.
So again, that's not my priority. So I don't think so. My point is that I don't want anybody, any creator feeling like just because someone said, oh, you're not working hard enough. One, what's their basis of comparison?
Yes.
Because compared to what? Because if I compare you to Kirby, you're not working hard enough.
Right.
So, and Kirby's a legend, and when this person dies, no one will remember them. So, so again, always, kind of be careful, when you want to talk like that. And here's the thing too, no matter what you do, there is always going to be somebody faster than you, more skilled than you, younger than you, prettier than you, with a tighter ass than you, more muscles than you, I mean, it's like, there's always going to be somebody doing something better than you. But here's the thing. It's like Jose said, it's clobbering time. No, it is. Don't count other people's money.
No.
Don't
you can't spend it, so why are you worried about it?
So it's like, if this person can do a page a day, that's great on them. That's what they've decided that they're going to do. It's none of my business. And that's what it is. It's like, and here's the thing. If you have the time to do a page a day, why are you so pressed about what I'm doing? Why do you have enough time to be pressed about what I'm doing or not doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't even thinking about you until you had to open your Yap, so aren't you busy? Then don't be worried about
then be busy.
Right. Then be busy. Don't be worried about what I'm doing or not doing. Okay, that's not for you to worry about. If you're doing a page a day, you're too busy to be worried about what I'm doing, right? So
if you're doing a quality page a day,
I mean, but even then, it depends on who it is, Oh. But here's the thing: quality being subjective. But again, there was this documentary about Dave Stevens that I saw, and they were talking about how he took forever with every issue of The Rocketeer because he would noodle so much on his inking that there was literally an issue he was 3 weeks late on because there was a panel that had a dog in it and he couldn't get the dog foot right. And he spent 3 weeks noodling on that dog foot. Because it wasn't right. It would bother Dave Stevens to the point of paralysis. Right. Meanwhile, everybody else is telling him, oh my God, just get the fucking book done. And he's like, no, I have to get the dog foot right. Now, mind you, this is kind of like the opposite end of this. Actually, Travis Charest would be the opposite end of it. It's like, look, the French put out comics once a year, and they look at Travis going, bro, you're taking way too long.
Right.
So there is an opposite end of this as well. You can take and mind you, Travis Charest is a master. Dave Stevens is a master, but there comes a point where that gets in the way of getting the work done. So you do have the opposite problem. But here's the thing, though. I think that most people would rather look at a panel done by Dave Stevens that took him 3 weeks than an entire comic that only took 30 days to do. Again, priorities. But yeah, it's like, like I said, it just depends on what your priorities are or what they need to be. But also remember, what you make your priority, that's what you're going to spend most of your time on.
Right.
So choose wisely. It's like, that's kind of, I think, like the end lesson with this. Everyone has to make priorities. You just have to really choose carefully what your priorities are going to be. When I used to work, before 2013, I had a straight job just like everybody else. My schedule, one of my schedules was from 12 in the from 2 in the afternoon to 11. So what would I do? I would wake up at 5 in the morning so that I would have time to work on comic book pages.
That's before what he does.
To work. That was the only way that I could do it. So that's what I did. that
I assure you, it's okay, Glenn.
right. It's I mean, that was the priority I had to make. I had to sacrifice sleep a bit in order to be able to do comics. Because my job was kind of a non-negotiable thing at this time.
And that's what C does, because like when he was getting, there was a point in time where he was struggling with anatomy and whatnot. And he would come home. Not only was he getting up between 3 and 4 in the morning to make sure that he had time to draw, he was coming home and making sacrifices with me and the kids because he was taking classes in the evening.
Right.
And it's like, bruh, don't talk to me about hustle and hard times and fucking don't. Yeah, and
also the thing is too, be wary of this whole hustle culture thing. It's like, remember, it's like, it's all what we do comics for fuck's sake, right? I mean, it's like, it's not a zero-sum game. The only thing that's important is are you doing the comic you want to do? Are you telling the story that you want to do? And are you getting it out in a time frame where other people can actually enjoy it?
Right.
Those are like the main things that anybody should be worried about. And then like everything else builds around it. Why are you doing comics to begin with? If you're just doing it to crank out a product, I think that there are easier ways to make. There's always ways to make money than to be in comics. So, so that's kind of the thing. It's like, are you doing the work that you want to be doing? That's the important thing. Like I said, and then you build your priorities on top of that. It's like if you have the ability to work from home, something else is going to get the shaft until you get your main priority done. Like I said, the house gets grimier the longer I work. But but there just comes a point where I have to get up and I have to take care of everything else. So yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's kind of a shitty thing. Like, I really hate it when people go, "Oh, you don't work hard enough. You don't work hard enough." It's like, compared to what? Compared to who? Who are you talking to that's working so hard so that I can talk to them and see what they're doing?
Right.
Who is it? Who's the basis of comparison? Usually 99.9% of the time, it's just somebody making complete assumptions about you. They're not even doing what you're doing. They don't even know what the fuck you're doing, but they know just nothing enough that they think that they can make a judgment call on you. And it's like, and it's like, you know what? Why are you even talking to me? It's like, why are you so pressed about what I'm doing or not doing that you felt yourself important enough to comment about it?
Right.
It's like, just leave me the fuck alone. It's like, nobody asked you, and it's like, and come back when you actually have something useful to say. Because no, I'm not salty about this at all.
No, you're not salty. I love you. I'm just thinking about how spicy you are.
I mean, because I hate that shit. It's like, oh, you're not working hard enough. And mind you, the reason why I hate that phrase is that it's not limited to art. It's not limited to comics. It's not.
No, it's everything.
It's everywhere. Even at my old job, there was always, you don't work hard enough. You don't work hard enough. And here's the funny thing, even at one,
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like one of my previous jobs, I used to have this manager. He was such a fucking dick. Usually that most of them were. I think I only remember one. I remember one manager who's probably the only one good manager I had. But he had to go out and have an affair with his assistant manager's 18-year-old daughter. But
ooh, wow.
It's like, moral of the story: do not use company computers to send obscene texts, emails back and forth. Moral of the story. But like I said, that's a
well then.
So it's like, this guy was a fucking dick. And every chance he got, he was constantly telling me, oh, you suck. You're bad at your job. You don't work hard enough. This, that, and the other thing. You know, and it's like constant, right? No matter what I did. Oh, you know, it's like, right? And one day I got so fucking fed up that I filed for a transfer. Right? It's like, okay, you know what? I'm so bad. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. I'm doing you a favor. I'm leaving. I'm transferring to another store. And then he has the nerve to go, I'm not letting you go.
Oh.
And I go, what? Wait, what? And he goes, and he literally comes to me and goes, what do I have to give you to make you stay? And I go, motherfucker, you spent all this time telling me that I'm such a horrible worker and this, that, the other thing and whatever. And it's like, now it's like, you're telling me this shit?
Wow.
You know? So it's like, yeah, it turned out that I was his most valuable person there. But I don't know. I guess he felt that he didn't want me to know that because like, oh, I don't know what the fuck.
No, if he pet you, you might be like, oh, well, I'm good now and
right.
do less. Whereas if he motivated you by insulting
right.
you and what you
exactly.
did,
so
then you would strive harder for his approval.
Right. And you see, and here's the thing too, because there's a lot of people a little too full of themselves who think that they're actually encouraging you by doing this shit. You know, where it's like that maybe in the end, this person are posting, they're saying this shit because like, oh, this is me motivating you. But, you know, it's like,
yeah, see, that's what I think that their intent actually was, but it was not motivation.
Right.
It was straight up insult,
right.
Especially because you don't know what the fuck's going on in people's lives at certain points.
Right.
And my life was uprooted and put through sheer fucking turmoil over the past 3 weeks.
Right.
I felt like you insulted my husband. I felt like you insulted me.
Right.
I felt like you insulted a multitude of my friends, my daughter. Like, you know? Man, fuck.
And there's, you know, and here it is. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are that I respect your opinion enough to be motivated?
Well, I don't anymore because I unfriended the motherfucker.
Yeah, right. It's like, why do you think that you're that important that I would be motivated by that type? It's that manager. This manager thought that he was so important in my life that by constantly pushing his thumb on me, it would motivate me to impress him. Instead, what that did was it made me want to get away from him. You know, and it got to a point where I had to get
degregation's a kink, man. Like, and not everybody's into it.
Right. Exactly. I mean, HR had to get involved in everything because it's like he was literally threatening me, saying that, you know, I could keep your transfer from happening.
Wow.
And I go, bitch, really? I'm that awful. But he wanted to sink his teeth in tooth and nail. You know, so it's like, no, that is not motivation.
No,
that is not motivation. You know, people have to find their own motivation.
Speak of the devil,
right? Right, exactly. Beginners need to be focusing on their craft, not how quickly they can crank out a comic. We've seen people like that. We've seen beginners.
They need to be taking anatomy lessons. They need to be taking lessons from perspective.
Right. More important to get their books. There was this one artist just starting out, and every time he finished a comic, he would have a POD printed, and his goal was to have 30 issues. The problem was that he was way not ready for prime time.
Right.
You know, but he got it stuck in his head that it was more important to be able to say he has 30 issues of his comic than whether he has a good page,
right?
Than whether he even has a grasp of his foundational skills. You know, it's like his priority was completely in the wrong place. Having a finished comic was the last thing he should have been worrying about. It's like, no, it's like, honestly, having a comic was the last thing he should have been worried about. He should have been studying. He should have been, sketching, figure studies, the whole thing, color theory. I mean, just everything. I mean, instead, he wanted to be able to have this flex. That's not really a flex. It's like you have 30 issues of
what? Of garbage?
Of this amateur ass artwork
COVID
that
toilet
has
paper.
no business being printed. But maybe I'm just being mean.
No, you're just hot. Under the collar.
Yeah, under the collar. Yeah. It is warm in this office. So. I mean, finally I think like the weather is beginning to kind of like settle out, into summer mode, and it is a little hot in the office. So it's almost 80 degrees in here. I don't know. We're already past the top of the hour anyway, so it's like you have any thoughts on?
No, I'm good, because actually, even before we started the episode, I was already over it.
Yeah.
Like, I've been over it for a few days, but it's just,
yeah.
Do the fucking work. Put your head down. Do your work. If you have advice people can use,
the ancients made it easy.
Like.
I mean, really. I mean, it's like there's a reason why I end the show on the 4 things that I do, because honestly, it's that easy. So like I said, it's like I interrupted you.
No, I'm really good. I'm
okay.
good.
All right,
I'm good.
So I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging on. Yeah, I did.
She did.
I did. and became aware of another verbal tick. Thank you.
Like what, Daphne?
Everybody has a verbal tick, so. And I want to thank the 9 people watching me next to my giant eyeball. Thank you for spending the kind of a little over an hour with us. I hope you got something out of it. I don't know. People like to hear me ramble. I don't know. But thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. I'm going to go pack some more Kickstarter things to get these out.
Work harder, Daphne.
Yeah, I know. So hopefully by Monday, if you pledged to the Eagle Raven issue 6 campaign, I'm hoping that by Monday, actually not hoping, by Monday, I should have the last of the packages out.
Speaking of packages,
yes.
So, like the package notification that I got while we were in the hospital,
okay,
was for the Oswald Chronicles.
Oh, very nice. You got it.
Listen, it didn't get stolen. It got rained on. It got kicked around, and then finally my neighbor picked it up for me and brought it in. I want y'all to know that this book arrived in immaculate condition.
Oh, there you go. It survived. It survived the elements.
It did. And now I think I'm going to start preaching these fucking bags too. I swear to God.
There you go.
Not only are they cute, this motherfucker, I'd show you the fucking, if I showed you the label, I'd end up doxing myself. But you can, here, let me do like this.
It's just like all
you can see that it got water damaged.
Right, yeah.
And the fucking comic is pristine.
Very nice. I'm sure Jose will be happy that his sometimes overpacking works to the benefit of
you guys never disappoint. And that's another thing. Speaking of quality. Yes. Cardboard mailers.
Yeah.
Cardboard mailers. God, one more motherfucker.
We have a coupon code, people.
One more motherfucker. I swear to God, the next thing I send in an envelope, I'm going live.
Right.
It'll be like, hello, people. Welcome to the Indie Comics Network bonfire.
Oh,
and
no.
Let me tell you what. I swear.
This was a true test of mailing preferences.
Absolutely, because this thing had to sit out on the porch for probably 2 days, maybe 3, before Ashlyn saw it in the Louisiana heat in the fucking rain.
Right. Oof. But I'm sure Jose will be happy that his package.
Absolutely.
worked really well. So like I said, that's it for us. So if you want to see more about me and my artwork and all that other jazz, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you are interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress and any real live updates that I have for anything going on at the moment. And also remember that you could check also all my videos out on my channel on YouTube at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live on either of our channels. It's like I'm still three people away from 1,000 subscribers. It's like, oh, this last 3 people are gonna kill me. I swear.
They're edging you, Daphne.
No, really. You can also read Eagle Raven, Air the First Unicorn for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday, on my website at EagleWorks. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. So thank you very much for joining us on this 1000th episode of whatever it is that we do here on the vlogs.
Unassisted pussy power. What the fuck? I just had to do that. And if you know the backstory, you know why.
We're not being monetized anyway. So it's like that. So forget about, worrying about being monetized. And remember, like I said, the ancients made it easy for everybody. Eat your food, moisturize, especially in this heat. Really, it's like I'm so dry this summer. I don't know why. Moisturize. Mind your business, literally and figuratively, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you don't have to fake any of this. If you're doing the work, you're a creator. Jesus Christ, whether you're doing a page a day or a page every week, it's like you're a creator. You're doing the work. So do the work. Get your head down, eat your food, and the whole 9 yards. Just do the work. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to worry about. Everything else prioritizes over that. Okay? So there you go.
And tune in today at 3 p.m. Eastern for Arting with the Alley Cat. What up?
Oh, yeah, there you go. So thank you again, and we'll see everybody next time. Bye now.
Bye-bye.